it's Bradley and Jackie with Purposeful Pop Life. How are you today?
I'm great.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Well, it's summer. It's still summer, so I'm happy about that.
Well, okay, so it's kind of humid out. It's sticky.
That's why my hair is
Yeah.
humidified here.
But I'll tell you, I'm okay. I'm
Why
okay
okay?
today. Well, we're watching this show called The Maid today on Netflix.
Yes.
And I got to be honest with you, I really like it, but it is impactful. And I've watched an episode and a half. I didn't get through the next. I'm trying to watch it, and it really has me in the heart and in the head. It's a tough show to watch, but I'm really glad I'm watching it because it's making me think quite a bit. So
It kind of puts you outside your world,
yes.
and realizing that there are a lot of people struggling out there that have, so many more worries than we do, even though everything is relative. This just really brings you down a couple notches
Yes.
to reality.
Well, and I'll say this, so you know the story of what this is about, but
It's based on a book.
yeah.
And an actual experience, I think that the author actually derived it from
she did?
someone else's
Okay.
story. Yeah,
Because it seems very real. So basically, it's a story of a lady,
single mom.
and she meets a guy. It appears that she was going to go off to college, but she got pregnant and was in this relationship. They're not married. They live in a mobile home, and he has a drinking problem, and he has a violent outbursts. She has moved into a domestic violence shelter. She's lost her child temporarily, at least for the week, where that's where I left off in the show.
Okay, I did not know that.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
But that's part of germane to the story.
You can binge on it. It's Netflix. It's bingeable.
But the way that they talk about it, it was real on a lot of levels. The addiction part was real. The temporary housing. So I've done work with a group called Families Moving Forward. And these are people that are displaced for a variety of reasons. They spend basically 90 days under state control, moving from church to church. They spent a week at our church, and you host them there. And the stories are very real. They're very difficult, and they're human beings just trying to get it, figure out life and get ahead a little bit from where they are. And the way they portray this show and the ladies in the shelter, it is very real. It's raw, and if you haven't had a chance to volunteer, this is a chance to watch it from that perspective and get a little insight as to what's going on in their hearts and their minds, and how even though they've been victimized and wronged, it wasn't all that person's fault. They're bargaining away some of that pain, and it's that piece, the bargaining away the pain, that I felt was really real when I was watching it this morning. So,
And I think more the other aspect of it, and the more real, or we could probably relate to more, is that parental kind of biological need to protect your child.
Yes.
Even though sometimes, and I've actually just gone through this last year, I've had to do a lot of difficult, uncomfortable things to protect my two kids from a person in our community, and it's made me feel uncomfortable. And some people are saying, why don't you just do it this way? It would be easier. Like if she's maybe stayed with her boyfriend, she wouldn't have to be suffering and going through all this so much. But then how would her daughter turn out?
Right.
And would her daughter respect her? And what kind of relationship would they have? So sometimes the hardest thing is the right thing.
And I think that's key. And even she at one point wants to go back and do the easy thing and move back in. And this agitator friend at the shelter is like, no, you gotta fight. And so she begins to learn what it means to stand up for herself and live with that sort of level of dignity in doing the right thing. And it really is. It's a good story, and I want to stick with it.
I think we will.
I'm a little messed up in the head and heart after watching it because it's not.
But that means it's good.
Yes,
that means that it actually
absolutely. It's got inside, and I like that.
It got inside you, and it made a difference.
Yeah.
So this weekend, it's not something you can watch with the family.
No.
Probably you'd have to do a lot of explaining to your kids. I would let my kids watch it, but again, we all have different parameters of what we're comfortable with. Letting our kids watch.
Yeah.
But I just have to say, as a mother, good for her. It's hard, and sometimes you do back up, but then you start going forward and you fight again because when you're a good parent, all you want to do is protect your offspring or your kids in general, whether they come from out of you or from you or whatever. You have that biological need.
Yeah, and so on a positive note, I wasn't expecting much. and I was expecting to watch sort of like a whatever Netflix show, and this is actually something. It's legit. You know, a lot of the Netflix things we've watched are bubblegummy pop stuff, which is great. There's a place for that. We've watched some of the Sundancey films, if you will, on Amazon, and those have been kind of up right where they're meant to be.
Well, and we haven't been impressed about how they've been portraying women. This is very realistic.
Yeah.
Like this, good job, Netflix.
Yeah,
like,
great job.
Thank you, finally.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I wish I would be more positive about it, but it's
You know,
it's
think
raw. I
the
just watched
positivity,
it, so.
the positivity is coming.
Yeah.
We're just at the beginning.
Yeah.
So you start watching it. Let us know what you think. You can binge on it. That's what Netflix does. They just put it all out there for you to watch. But I think that we're going to take it a little bit slower, and we'll talk about it maybe next week too.
Absolutely.
But it was great being with you this week, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Take care.
All right.
Have a
bye.
great week.